You feel me? I'm looking a little rough right now. You feel me? I got the beard trimmed, all that shit. We back. Shout out Giddy. We got other those things.
Mayfair Barbers, have no fear. Come on down, because the price is right. Hey, let me tell you, I'm gonna design my stuff. Wait, give me a minute.
You gotta tell some wisdom to the camera too.
Yes, this is before, and then we'll look after.
Yeah, you're gonna do
we'll
the
make it sharp like a dog. No, you got it. No, so confidence dog.
It's Lazy Boy Records, Gideon.
Yeah.
What's his barbershop called again?
Mayfair Barbers. Mayfair Barbers.
You know, you need something fresh. Pull up here. This is what you need to go. This is where you need to go.
Yes.
No. Making some shirts over here.
Yep. Because you just came on the right time now. Yep.
You'd be like, word.
There you go. All right.
All right, cool. That's
all
good
right.
Stuff. Oh, you mean like the in the back of your car? This is the worst part. Your name.
There you go.
Back one too. All right.
All right, Tang, thank you so much for sharing your work with us. Yes, we love to see it. Before I ask you some questions and before we get rolling, first I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Bree, she, her pronouns, and I'm a creative partner for Black Haven. We're so happy to have you here. So please do introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Tang. Well, my real name is Marcus, but everybody calls me Tang. I go by Tang Russ. I'm from West Haven, Connecticut. I'm 23 years of age. I'm a photographer, young Black photographer. I shoot film, not digital. This video is what I recorded when I was just in my storming stages of getting to where I'm at now. So, but in this video, you see a friend of mine named Lonnie X. He's another artist, fellow artist from Hartford. And I had stayed over a weekend with him and just documented what his life is and what he does in his everyday life. I even got other videos that correlate to that, but this one is dedicated to Gideon because he's also an African-American barber up in Hartford. So just paying homage to the Black Haven Film Festival as everything Black Haven, yeah.
I love that. Plugging the local businesses, what we need to start doing. I love that. Yeah. Thank you for telling us about that. And you already hinted at this. So what made you choose this piece specifically? I know you said you had some other works that were centered around this individual, but tell us why you chose this one specifically.
I chose this one specifically because I've been sitting on this video and I didn't know what to upload it for, and this is a perfect understanding of what was going down there. It's perfect category for everything. So it was tucked away for this.
Yeah, in terms of, thank you. And in terms of Black stories and Black liberation, tell us how this story really fits and how it makes that cut.
Well, I mean, as a Black man, a haircut is everything. And to be able to document your whole haircut and how it is that's something you don't get to see every day. You know, when I was a kid, I went to Willie C's on Dixlow Ave as a kid, and being in that shop, getting my haircut, getting a fresh fade on a Saturday or Friday, and being able to be I feel refreshed and I feel, like myself. You don't really see the older heads cutting hair like that. So I was able to document everything that was going down. I see a new barbershop every other year, but not like the established barbershop. My dad used to go there. A family relative put me on, and we've been going there for years, type of thing. So that's why I documented that.
Especially with the generational aspect of having people from before you, having that bloodline of people going to that barbershop. That's so important. So, of course, I totally get that.
Yeah.
What inspires you as a Black creator?
I mean, what inspires me as a Black creator is I'm able to do something freely that I love to do every day. So whether I have to do the most in order to get to where I need to be at, then yeah, I've been through a lot. So I figure this is like a glimpse of a point in time in my life where I was just trying to figure things out. So I really use this as motivation for myself, because I've won something in a festival that I didn't know I was able to do. So this is just another milestone that, all right, if I can do this, I can do better. I can keep on going and, you know, see myself going far. So this is just pushing me to do better.
Yes, we love to see it. Look at you going places. Okay. My next question for you is, how has representation in film and media, either movies when you watched when you were growing up or Black actors, how has this impacted your journey as an artist?
How has this impacted me as an artist? Okay, so I grew up on a lot of, that's a good question. Damn, I mean, I've been inspired by so many movies growing up. Like, obviously, I can't say obviously, because a lot of people can't relate to the stuff that I'm into. I mean, movie actors, I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain that. I wasn't prepared for that one, but I don't know how to explain that. I could say that I wanted to see something I created, you know, in my eyes, like, and hopefully that it will influence other people to see things that in their perspective, that it can become something beautiful. You just never know what you can see and how it can rub off on somebody else.
That is so inspirational. Yes, we love to see it. We love to see it. So how do you, as an artist, how do you uplift yourself in theater and film, especially with, you know, the lack of maybe representation of our people in the media, especially, you know, wanting to make that work and wanting it to rub off on people. So how do you uplift yourself in order to do that?
How do I uplift myself? I make a lot of time for myself. I give myself a lot of time to really think about my next move, my next decision, and that way I can get a grasp of things and look at the pros and cons before I make that decision. So I guess you could say uplifting thing would be that, you know, just having time for yourself to really think about critically on what's going on next in your life, because you may never know. The move might be right and the move might be wrong. Just got to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Especially as artists, I feel like I'm also an artist myself, so I feel like we're constantly bombarded with opportunities, right? But at the same time, to know like what opportunity is going to benefit me, how it's going to get me to the next step, if it even is going to get me there. So I totally understand, especially, especially
not trying to be like an opportunist or anything, but just take the time for yourself to think critically on what's going to happen for you. How do you see yourself doing it? And just going forward from that point on, and then everything will follow through. A lot of things ain't meant to be for right now, but it could be meant to be later on. So you just got to take things as a lesson learned and just perfect it over time. I don't want to rush anything, so I'm just taking it day by day, and it's working.
I'm so glad to hear that. And so, especially creatively, like, we can't just come up with things in the drop of a hat. Like, we need time. We need to take care of ourselves and nurture ourselves. So that's
gotta put yourself first. It's as I grew up, I can definitely say I put myself first for most things because I feel like I deserve it. I've been through a hell of a time to where all my work is speaking for itself to like people that didn't even know me and showing me the most love, and I'm just like, damn, I feel so thankful. I'm feeling so blessed to even be able to have this touch somebody in a way that I was like not aiming to do it, but like it just happened subtly. You know what I mean? So things that I see and create, it rubs off in a good way to people. So that's why I'm happy of doing everything I do now. naturally at that. It's not forced. It's natural.
For sure, especially, yes. Everything you said, yes, snaps to that. I totally agree.
Thank you.
And for your artistic journey as a Black creative, if you could say something that historically, if you could say something to an institution that historically centers whiteness in art, and now it's seeking to suddenly uplift Black art, what would you say? What would you say to that institution?
I mean, it's a fine line. I would say you're never too Black for the white kids, and you're never too white for the Black kids. You ever heard of that? There's like a fine thin line between that. I mean, just freely do what you want to do. Everybody has an opinion. It's all up to you if you want to listen to them or not. Just freely do what you want to do and make sure you get everything done. Like set goals and, short-term goals and main goals. That's how I do it. Take it step by step. That's the only way you're going to really get to where you want to be at. Just take it step by step, make those short terms and turn them into main goals.
Definitely. And for some of our viewers and listeners who may not understand the quote that you just said, could you explain a little bit more about you're never too Black for the white kids, you're never too white for the Black kids? Tell us a little bit about that.
I feel like everybody, I can't even talk for everybody, but I feel like some people have this stigma that, I can't be with this group or I can't be with that group. So I'm just in the middle. I feel fine coasting in the middle because, like I said, everybody has something to say, but it's just up to me if I want to hear that, and I'm just really doing what I want to do. And what do you know, on both sides, it's like people are liking the work. People are seeing what the work is. I'm not really caring what anybody got to say for what I got to do. Like I put myself in different types of atmospheres and I adjust to it pretty well to where as somebody would be like, oh, that's weird. And I wouldn't see it as weird because it's something I'm not used to doing. I got out of my comfort zone a long time ago. So it's just like, as I start to adjust and start to grow, I'm freely just becoming natural and comfortable in my own body. You know what I mean? So that's what I got to say about that.
For sure. For sure. And so just carrying that idea of, being comfortable in yourself as an artist, as an individual, as a human in general, what do you hope to see in the future of arts?
Excuse me?
What do you hope to see in the future of arts?
In the future of arts, I definitely want to see it. Well, it's becoming more diversified. Like a lot of Black art is getting appreciated. A lot of all that is getting appreciated. And it's coming along pretty good, full circle. It's just got to be pushed more to where it's not forced, but it's just soothing to somebody's eyes to be like, wow, I didn't know that was there. Or wow, this is a gem. Let me just look deeper into their catalog and see what they were about. The time comes, it's gonna come. It's just let it go natural. And you'll see everything come together. Just never stop working.
I really love what you said about don't make it forced, because I feel like a lot of our institutions especially are really trying to jump on the bandwagon of, let's do this, let's diversify this. But it really has to be, I feel like I agree, it has to be natural. It has to be something that you don't push, like you're not trying to push this agenda. So I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like everything rubs off in a way to somebody where it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, but I actually like that. Like I want to see more of it. So if I can have that type of thing happen, then I'm good. I don't push nothing out. I don't force nothing. I don't want to force nothing because I feel like that's unnatural for myself. It just seems like it's just a job. At this point, I'm looking at everything as, what am I going to do today? How can I change how I feel today in ways that I can creatively express myself? So every other day, I put myself in a different headspace to just change it up from the day before so I can get a different perspective of how I can go about things. That's how I use my way of thinking. But, yeah.
And in terms of creative development, so you're talking about every day you're trying something new, you're getting out of your comfort zone, really, not pushing the content, but pushing yourself to be more creative, which is wonderful. So in terms of creative development, what are your dreams and what do you want to see your art grow into?
Honestly, I have short-term goals, I have main goals. I love photography, and don't get me wrong, photography has been taking me so where I wanted to be at, but this is just me breaking into a headspace of mine that I've always wanted to get off. Like, not get off, but like always wanted to just get done. And as I started to grow, I get to document everything that I'm into. It's not just photography that I'm into. Videography, making art, whether it's clothes, shoes, like everything revolves around that. So I'm in these type of headspaces that are custom to me, and it's growing. It's just growing. So honestly, for the development, it's just everything that you're natural and around and used to doing, just take that with you, because obviously it's a seed. You got to let it, grow, and you'll see like either a nice bush or maybe it's not watered properly. So you got to water that, that side and just see where it can take you. You just never know where any of the stuff that you're interested in doing will take you. So that's my development. Like I said, I didn't say this, but I was in college. It didn't work for me. Everything I learned in high school is working for me. Honestly, like everything that I learned, whether it was clothes, shoes, photography, videography, just music, like all that stuff that I've learned in high school is what I'm natural of doing, and that's where it's at right now, and I feel perfectly fine with that. I can't let nobody change that for me. That's my skill of development, creative development. So yeah.
Yes, take it day by day. And it sounds like you're self-taught because you got it all together.
I mean,
you know it.
I definitely would say with the help of mentors that come into my life, yeah. And with the help of good people that come into my life, I can't just put that all on me. Everybody has an influence. And I pay that homage all the time. I pay that homage. I thank the people that's in my life. I thank the people that told me these different types of things that I wouldn't be used to doing now. So in a way, it's 50-50. Yeah, I got to give it to myself, but I also got to give it to the people that's been around and just helping me grow as I become myself. Like I can't say I did it myself, because then I'll be selfish of me. And I'm not a selfish person. Always a table. If I have a table and there's always like a plate for somebody that's implemented in my life, there's always a plate for them. That's how I see it. So.
That is beautiful. This is beautiful. You're a beautiful person. You're wonderful. And my last question, you're welcome. My last question for you is, what advice would you give to other Black creatives who have artistic freedom?
If you have artistic freedom, you better run along with that. Run away and just never stop running and just keep it going. Don't let nothing stop you. If it has red flags off, like put that shit to the side and just keep it going, keep it pushing. Just don't stop. And you're almost there. You'll feel when you're almost there. It don't feel like it, but you feel like you're almost there. Honestly.
Wow, you just inspired me for light years to come. I feel like I have so much momentum right now because of you. Thank you.
Oh,
So those are all the questions that I had for you today. I wanted to thank you for sharing your art, your content, your creativity, and your soul with us today, because you are radiant, absolutely radiant. We love having you today. So thank you so much for coming out.
Thank y'all for having me so much. I really do appreciate the placement. I really do appreciate watching my video, the words exchange, like everything. I really do appreciate this.